Today's episode is an extension of last week's Rendezvous with Sanjay Dutt, just as my guest is an extension of him. His sister, now MP, wife and mother, and a strong woman in her own right, Priya Dutt Roncon.
Just let your thoughts and dreams unfold. You and I, let's talk of love to tales untold. Speak to me so I can see your soul.
Priya, Sanju, it's just great to have you both here together.
Thank you so much.
You know, the very first interview that I ever recorded was with Priya and Dutt-sahib. That was 9 years ago.
God, very long back.
So there's a 7-year difference between the two of you.
Yes.
How did he treat you?
Always like the kid sister, even till today.
But Namrata was the pal. So you used to pataw her.
Yes.
And I remember when he was in school, he used to keep writing letters, sad letters to her that, I need money and I need this. So please, don't tell mom, but just send me some money.
And she did.
And she used to take all her pocket money and send it to him.
Sanju.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was very naive. She always did that.
You always told me that you thought of him as Bhaiya, the elder brother.
Yeah.
And yet you said on my show that you never hero worshipped him. You always knew you had to take care of him.
Right.
When did that feeling come in you?
I think after mom passed away and we suddenly took on a responsibility. I think the way Bhaiya has been always, we always have that feeling of taking care of him.
Yeah, he does evoke a motherly instinct in anybody.
Yeah, so,
But tell me, Sanju, when did you first realize Priya's quiet strength?
I think when she passed out of college, and I used to see her with Dad a lot, the way she took care of him. And I mean, if Priya wasn't there with Dad, I think he would have been the most lonely human being possible. I mean, she was there for him, whether it's day or night or wherever he was in the world. And I found that she's a very strong girl, and the way she accompanied him for all the Padyatras and what all she did, I mean, it's not for a young girl growing up to do all that. And that's the reason I encouraged her into being a politician. Because I know she's strong, she is strong.
So are you more supportive, do you feel, or do you mother him more?
I think he's been very supportive, especially now with, so many changes happening in my life. Without him, guiding me through it and advising me.
Even though you're the younger sister, have you ever scolded him?
Many times.
Many times.
Many times.
Suppose if I have one too many, then
Then he's had it.
I've had it.
He goes out very late in the night driving, then he's had it.
But you listen to her.
Yeah, I listen to her.
But you do what she says.
No.
Sometimes I do.
Priya, if you could change one trait in Sanju, what would you change?
Only one? He's can't get the word. What do you say?
Gullible? No.
He's an extremely gullible person.
Abibi?
Ekdam. He thinks like he's smart and everything, but he's not. So he's very gullible and anything for a sob story. So I wish he could change and really see what people are.
Still hasn't learned.
No, he hasn't.
Don't change, doesn't matter. That's the purity in you, and I like it this way, stay that way. Priya, I want to ask you one thing. You have always put aside your own traumas and taken care of your brother, taken care of your father, seen the family through one crisis after another. Has anyone ever asked you what you have been through?
I'm a very resilient person. I just bounce back. I think that's
all of us
are the same. He's gone through hell in his own way. And, a lot of people used to tell me, oh, you're such a wonderful daughter, when my dad was ill. And, you're taking such good care of him. But I never thought any other way. So I used to keep wondering, why are people, praising me such a lot because I'm taking care of my father? That's something I would do anyways.
But you went through your own traumas. At the age of 14, you lost your mom when you needed her most.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing for a girl to get used to. Have you ever opened your heart to anyone?
I think I used to talk to Dad And he gave me a lot of strength. Even when mom passed away, when I look back at my life from 14 years to now, I feel he kind of filled that void so beautifully of a mom and a dad. That he never gave us a chance to really feel that, you know, we were motherless and we missed her in certain times in our lives. He just was always there.
But Sanju, you know, I know that you're always a little shy of opening up and expressing your feelings. Did you ever have a chance of telling Dutt-sahib how much he means to you?
I used to tell him all, he had the problem, Dad. I used to always tell him, Dad, I love you and I miss you, Dad, and I, you know, you're everything. But he used to be behind my back, like what you showed me.
Yeah.
You know, I used to
Praising
hear.
him
Yeah,
behind his back.
And to your face?
Never. I mean, there was a time I used to tell him, Dad, at least say you love me. You know, but then towards the end, he started doing that.
Towards the
The
end.
last 2 years, you know.
Yeah. I used to hear from other people, oh, how much he talks about you, and you know, he said this about you. But never on the face. Never to us directly. He used to talk to other people about Sanjay, about his brilliant work in this film and brilliant work in that film. When he used to sit with him, he used to be, Acha, I think thoda improve hona chahiye tumko. Acha, you should do this. You know?
The night before he died, you'd spent many hours with him.
No, Priya and Owen had dinner with him. I spoke to him on the phone. And I told him, I said, I've got some wine for you from South Africa, so I'll come and give it. So he says, no, come and give it to me tomorrow in the morning. I'm just tired.
I think he was ready to sleep and he called Bhaiya. And that was the last conversation he had.
Yeah.
It was too shocking actually. I think. You know, he was not ill, he was not ailing or anything. It was just I meet him in the night and next morning he's gone. We lost our bearings for a while there.
I can imagine that.
Even till today, I think we, you know, it hasn't really settled
Sunk
in
in,
that
yeah.
he's not there because we were used to him not being in the house all the time. But it's just once in a while, you know, it hits you that, my God, he's not here and he's never going to be here, you know.
Yeah.
Because for us, there was no worry when Dad was alive. Dad is there.
Literally.
You know, Dad is there.
Such a rock he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, there was a time for about 4 hours. I don't remember those 4 hours. When I saw him lying there, for 4 hours I don't have any memory left. And just to accept that he's not there. I mean, you know, I couldn't go and lift his bones up from the. You know, the son is supposed to be doing it. You know, is to collect the bones. I just couldn't see my father like that. You know, and even when we immersed him in the Ganges, I just, you know, I don't know, it was very difficult. I just wanted to see Dad the way Dad was. I mean, I just didn't want to see him in bones and ashes, you know. I think now it started sinking in that, you know, he has left the whole responsibility of the family to me. And it's high time I start working like him.
So in that sense, Dutt-sahib is still here with us,
Absolutely,
isn't he?
yeah.
Well, I knew your parents so well, and I saw such great qualities in them. And for me, it's a very proud moment to have you both sitting in front of me, because I see the same qualities in the children. So for me, both of them live on, and I'm very happy about that.
I know, ma'am, how much you loved Dad and Mom and the kind of moments you all shared. And
But Sanju, thank you so much
thank you so much, ma'am.
for coming on my show and for opening your heart out to me.
It's my honor.
It's been
Thank you so
beautiful.
much.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
my darling.
Thanks, ma'am. 2005 was some year for you, wasn't it?
It was something else.
I mean, the dam suddenly burst.
Yeah.
You filed your nomination papers, went into labor, delivered a son, and 3 days later you were back at the election campaigns again.
Right.
Superwoman couldn't have done it better, Priya. And you made it look very easy, was it?
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. And now that I look back and think about it myself, and I feel, how did I do it?
And you're the same girl who used to get severe exam fevers with the anxiety of proving herself.
Yes. I was a nervous wreck. Every time I had fever, my dad knew my exams were around the corner. And he used to always say that, chalo, abhi isko bukhar ho gaya, that means our exams are, starting and we've had it.
But how you've changed, Priya.
I have, really.
When they said that you're going to be your father's political heir, what were your emotions?
I was angry at first.
Why?
I was angry because everything started off so fast. I didn't have the time to even grieve for my dad, and everyone started speculating, now who? And that thought never crossed my mind.
Then what made you take the plunge? Was it to fulfill your father's legacy, or was it an individual decision?
In a way, yes, to take forward my father's legacy,
Yes.
and also an individual decision because I worked for so long with him.
Yes.
I saw the kind of work he had done through politics. If he could do it, why not me?
But you saw a very different side of politics through him.
Yes.
I mean, his politics was not the politics of the people around us.
True.
It's a very different world out there.
Very. I think I was very protected. I had not seen politics. With Dad, I had seen more of the social side of his work.
Yeah, social work.
Social work.
But that was, he thought politics was a platform to do social work.
Right. But what was happening behind the scenes, I was not exposed to.
No.
The exposure came now.
And now, what do you make of it?
It's difficult, very difficult. And it's a constant struggle every day of your life.
What is difficult, Priya?
I think when you come into politics, or when I was with my father, it is a very utopian way of thinking. You feel I want to do so much for the people, and I want to do this and I want to do that. But I think once you really get into the system,
That's right.
it's the system that kind of engulfs you, and you realize that there are limitations. You can't make a difference overnight. It's a process you have to go through.
You're very resolute and you're very uncompromising in your values.
Yes.
How are you going to fit into that system?
That's a very good question, because I think that's something which I ask myself every day. You know, there are so many things which just go against what I believe in, and that's the time I have to take a stand and say, no, this is something I'm not going to do, or this is something I'm going to do because I believe in it, and it may not make many people happy, but I think but I will continue to be like that. That's what kind of sets me apart from a lot of other people.
Sure. But tell me something. Wasn't Dutt-sahib disillusioned with politics before he died?
He was, to a certain extent. Yes, he was. I think it was this last year or so, which I think he kind of was disillusioned. He was hurt in many ways. And he wanted to now say, enough is enough for me. Yeah.
He was going to give it up, actually, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was.
And he said, I'll just do
He
social
was quite ready to do that now.
and I'll just do social work.
Yeah.
Today, with young MPs like Rahul Gandhi and Sachin Pilot, Milindira, do you interact with them?
Yeah, of course. Yes.
Yeah? How different do you see the scene with people like them around?
I think it's a great beginning. It's a great beginning, and even when I stepped into Parliament and I saw this group of young people, and I said, wow, thank God. You know, I mean, we think alike, and we have, I think, similar dreams for the country.
Tell me, if you were Prime Minister of India, whatever, what are the first 3 things you would do for India?
That's a very good question. I think the first would be curb corruption. I think there should be the strictest laws to handle corruption in our country, which is going completely haywire in every level.
Correct.
Secondly is education. There should be a basic education requirement in the government and in the administration. Thirdly, with the growing youth population, it's important that we have more job opportunities for them.
The end of 2005 also saw another beginning.
Yeah.
The birth of your son, Siddharth. But before that, there was Owen.
Yes.
And now we have to meet him. Owen, I'm delighted to have you here.
Thank you for having me, ma'am.
You know, it's very sweet and brave of you to come. This is your first television interview.
Yes, absolutely. First time in front of the camera.
You'll be fine. You know, I have to tell you, I used to matchmake for Priya.
Really?
Yes. But see, she's so independent, she found you herself. Actually, who found whom?
We were doing work together on doing fundraising activity actually with the Spastic Society of India.
I approached his company to help us organize the fundraiser. And we started working and we became good friends actually. We became pals
Yeah,
first.
we were like buddies.
Yeah.
And then one thing led together. And it was a very strong connection that we had.
And our views were very, very similar.
Do you remember I asked you 9 years back
Yes. I think he's seen that interview.
what you wanted and
Yeah.
admired in a man?
I saw
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Yes, and she said Sylvester Stallone.
That she said. That's right. That was the guy I think she wanted to date or something. But she also said what she wanted in a husband, I think.
Oh, I
Don't
didn't catch
remember that?
part. No, I didn't catch that part.
You didn't catch it.
I
Do you
remember the Sylvester Stallone part. Because I look.
Yeah, I said as someone who's not like my brother.
No! How mean!
Because I used to keep telling myself, I can't marry someone who's like my brother.
Please don't say that on national television. 90% of this country wants to be Sanjay Dutt.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Since you guys have such a great memory, let me just rewind and show you. What is the one quality you admire most in a man?
I think I've been with my dad for so long, so his idealism, his integrity, and hard work. But I hate a man who's obsessive about making money.
I think she's found the right man.
Yeah, he fits the bill.
My take on money is that, as long as we have enough food to eat, more money, that doesn't mean we're going to eat anymore.
That's true.
So it's,
But Owen, tell me, wooing Sunil Dutt's daughter and Sanjay Dutt's sister must have been daunting.
very, very daunting. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't daunting. First of all, Mr. Sunil Dutt's daughter, the most amazing personality you can even think of. And then the man himself, Sanjay Dutt's sister. I remember a friend of mine, when I first told him, a very, very close friend of mine, the first thing he did was he took out his phone and he erased my number from his phone. He said, I don't want to know you from now. You're talking about Sanjay Dutt's sister. So yes, it was very, very daunting.
Did Sanju give you a hard time?
Not as hard as I thought he would give me.
Okay, so he was pretty easy on you.
Well, relative statement, but yes.
When did you introduce them?
I think the moment we kind of decided that how we felt for each other and we realized how we felt for each other, I knew I wanted this relationship to culminate in marriage.
You did. You knew you'd found the man you wanted to marry.
Yes, yes. So I found the guts to go and, tell my dad immediately. And I told my sister and my brother, and I said, I think I found the person,
And they didn't know anything about him before that?
They didn't.
You kept him in undercovers?
But it was almost instant. Everything was going
Everything
at
happened.
rapid action. It was.
Then he met my dad.
Yeah,
and
I
my
met
brother.
Sanju first.
Were you very nervous?
Yes. Extremely.
I was more nervous.
Yeah, because Sanju called her and told her to send me to his house.
Alone.
Yeah.
He's saying, you don't be there.
Absolutely
And
alone.
I wouldn't have done it. I'm sorry. You're a very brave man, as
Yeah.
I said.
I actually thought this was a one-way street.
Yeah? There's no coming back. So you went
Yes, I did go and meet Sanjay.
all alone?
All alone. And it was actually a wonderful meeting. He was everything I thought he was. I had never ever met him before. And I have to be honest, I don't watch too many Hindi films. So I was not a Sanjay Dutt's fan from a film point of view. But from a person point of view, I was definitely a Sanjay Dutt's fan because, he's seen so much in his life and he bounces back right to the top, So you can't but be a fan of Sanjay Dutt. So I always thought that he was this humongous person, and he was every bit of it. Yeah. A complete gentleman. But
He is. That you can never doubt him on. But for a very shy person, as I know you to be, how did you come forward to even, propose? And
we actually use technology. It's SMS.
Yes. He's not at all the romantic person, or he's not wooed me in the senses. No. What you really...
I don't know how to do that.
What every woman would like.
That's
Everything
right.
was done through SMS.
You're kidding.
I didn't do the, would you marry me thing on
Then
SMS.
what did you
He
say?
didn't go down on his knees and, I keep
Because
telling him
she
that. I
just
said,
said,
you never did that.
She just said, okay, now,
How did
we
you
should
do
get married.
Who did? She said.
It was in conversation, and she, when she spoke to her father, and her dad said, if you like this man, then you should get married. There's no courtship, get married. So then we said, okay, then let's get married.
Priya became a politician and a mother like the same day.
Absolutely.
How has it affected your personal life?
We don't have the same time together. You know, the one thing that that was good about our relationship before that is that we didn't have to really make an effort for things. We were just so finely tuned that everything was happening naturally. But now we find that we have to actually make an effort to spend time together, find the time. So it does get tough, and you know, it's so difficult for her right now.
Yeah.
You know, emotionally and you know, physically, mentally, everything is so difficult for her. So right now, I'm just trying to give her all the space that she requires and
support.
let her. Yeah, well.
Yeah, because Owen, it requires a big support system.
Oh, absolutely,
for
absolutely.
Her. There's the baby, there's the constituency, there's Parliament, Delhi.
It's crazy.
Real crazy part about it is that in all these things, we're just learning about every one of those fields. It's not that we're experts in any one of them. You take the baby or you take the politics or anything. We're just learning about everything at the same time.
It's all so new.
So how do you share the load?
I like to play my background role on everything.
He was such a great support that I really couldn't have done this without him.
You're blessed.
Yeah, completely.
But so Priya, today, what are your priorities? How do you list them?
My family first.
Yeah.
That includes my husband and my baby. That will always be top priority. And my brother, my sister, her kids.
Yeah.
One
The
big
family,
joint
yeah. Like we're one big joint family. Then, of course, is my work. I think I list them
In that
order.
Well, you know, Priya, you don't have to fit into Dutt-sahib's shoes.
Correct.
Yes.
Because your own shoes will see you through.
That's the most wonderful thing you've said, because I think everybody looks at me as, okay,
Expectations.
yeah, and the expectations are so high that now, okay, Dutt-sahib is not here, so she will take that forward. So you kind of lose your individuality in that whole process.
Yes.
And I think what's important is to maintain that individuality and take his dreams forward.
Yes. You will take his dream forward and your own dream
Yes.
forward. And this Owen beside you.
Yes.
Build a wonderful life. I wish you only good things.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on my show.
Thank you.